caravans headed for our southern border, and the president has announced thousands of troops headed to the border. The first 100 have arrived.
Right.
Your take on the changes, big changes he's making as far as asylum and bringing troops to the border?
Well, bringing troops to the border, of course, you know, you've talked about it on the show, posse comitatus. I mean, they cannot be there to enforce the laws. They can be there to support, you know, Border Patrol. They can be there to give, like, you know, any kind of benefit from the air. And they are now 100, they say 5,200 or 2,600 now in staging areas. And it sends a very strong message. So as the caravans continue to travel, and that's just one tributary that we're looking at of caravans. And we know that at the Mexico-Guatemalan border, there was violence.
Right.
And so, and Guatemalan police were injured. And as O'Shaughnessy has said, he's the general of the Northern Command. He said this is a serious, potential serious threat. So I want to know who's in that caravan. Are there pedophiles? Are there career criminals? Are there people who think they can beat their wives, you know, without consequence? We don't know, and that's the whole issue. So the president, by taking a hard line, by saying, look, you can only now seek asylum at ports of entry, and, you know, then dealing with the birthright citizenship issue, which has been kind of an anchor on our necks, is recognizing this is an issue that we need to address.
Well, you're a judge, so by law, is the president allowed to do that? If you don't seek asylum at the port of entry and you try to, you know, go through the river or whatever, or go through the woods, normally you'd have to catch and release them.
Right. But what the president is saying now is we're putting up these tents. We're going to keep them on United States lands.
And he can do this via executive order?
He can do this via executive order. Absolutely.
I mean, you're still allowing them to try to claim asylum. You're just not letting them go,
right,
hoping they return back
to court. And that's the good news. It's not catch and release where we know that it's some years 60% don't come back to court.
Right, but
would you, if you were an illegal, they said, hey, gee, would you come back to court? I mean, that's why we have bail in criminal courts, because there's no incentive for them to come back.
But, Judge, yesterday a lawsuit was filed in district court in Washington, D.C. 6 Hondurans were represented, and they said the president's plans are illegal and do not treat them fairly.
Steve, what a shock. 6 Hondurans are suing the federal